Japan, Alabama, Denver, Pennsylvania, Israel, Pelham, San Francisco, Daytona Beach. Well, we got people from everywhere. This is awesome. Great. Well, I think it's about time to get started now. So I didn't tell you guys who we've got here. We got a very special celebrity guest for you today. This guy is basically the expert when it comes to blog curation. And you guys all know me pretty much because of the whole blog curation thing. That's what I do. I got pretty much got most of my knowledge originally from this gentleman that we have here today. He's definitely a bona fide millionaire blogger. He pulls in about over $30,000 a month from his websites. He has lunch with Matt Cutts, and he's quite a gentleman here. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Harlan Kilstein.
Hey everybody, let's switch screens, and let's see. You
want me to do that for you?
I did it.
Okay,
you should
great.
be able to tell me
Super.
whether you guys can see my screen.
Yes, I can see it. Everyone else can see it too, so we're doing great.
Okay, so first of all, we're going to go through this, and we're going to go through this quickly. And I apologize, but I want to correct you.
Yes,
I do not make $30,000 a month. I make $30,000 a month from just one site.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
I thought it was something like that.
Okay, so let's go and see what we're going to do, and I'll be sharing with you how we're going to be ramping that up rather dramatically. As a matter of fact,
before you go on, let me just make sure. Can everyone hear Dr. Kilstein okay? Yes, okay, great. Everybody can hear you. Cool. Just want to make sure.
All right, and you can see my screen. Everybody can see the screen. Say, type in screen if you can see it. Type in the word screen.
There we go, screen, screen.
Okay, good. So here we go. So I built a site 18 months ago. It's called the Catington Post. And in July, we had 1.2 million page views. And that's a lot of traffic for a very young site. Now, I'm going to take you through how I chose the niche, how I built the site, and I'm going to show you some stuff that's very literally going to be giving you the keys to the kingdom. All I ask from you is very, very simple. Is that number one, don't multitask. This is going to be good stuff. Number two is you can ask your questions. We'll get to them at the end. I'm not going to interrupt the presentation for questions. But yes, we will answer questions at the end. Second, as you're going to discover, a lot of people will say, you know, Harlan, I get it. You are magical. You are the godfather of curation. You can do everything. I can't. I'm going to show you now that that's totally not true. You're going to see actual proof of people just blowing away the competition and some other pretty remarkable stories all in the next couple of minutes. So we're going to move fast. With your permission, Hugh, you ready to fly?
Absolutely. Let's boogie.
Okay. So my legal income disclaimer is I don't believe in get-rich-quick schemes. I believe in get-rich-slow schemes. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, let me tell you what I'm not. You're looking at a thimble, a rather small thimble. That summarizes the knowledge that I have of SEO. I am not an SEO wizard. I have never built a backlink in my life. If you said, Harlan, go out and get some links, I would look at you and go, do they have that kind of animal in this area? I have no idea how to do that. I've never done it. I never will. So the first thing is, I am a total SEO klutz. Second is, although I make some pretty good money blogging, I'm not a particularly good blogger. Not only am I not a world caliber blogger, I probably wouldn't even qualify for the blog little league, okay? It's not me. And the funny thing is, even though I have the biggest probably one of the biggest dog sites in the world today, I'm not an expert on dogs. As a matter of fact, I can't even get my dog to come when called unless I'm unless I'm holding a dog treat in my hand. There you see a picture of the my little fur kid, or fur baby as dog people call him, and you see she has me pretty well trained. Okay, we're in the car and she decides to sit where she wants to sit in the driveway because she thinks she's the boss. So I just want you to know that I am not the expert in this stuff. So let me introduce you why I chose dogs. When I heard about this, I was like, this is crazy. So this is Boo. Boo has a page on Facebook, and Boo has 7.2 million likes. When there's a post on there, there are like tens of thousands of people liking the post. Boo, in the picture, you see Boo sitting with the owner. She never wants to be identified. She actually works for Facebook. And that's Boo on the right, and that's his brother Buddy on the left. So we have Boo and Buddy. And when Boo posts, look at this. This was 131,000 people like this post. 5,632 people shared the post. And there were 1,900 comments on this. And this is all within 24 hours. If we went back and found that photo on the page, it would probably be double. And Boo they put pictures of Boo, and this is about as intelligent as it gets, waiting for the first meal of day, tummy hungry, and you got 131,000 likes. So we were just wondering, how is she going to make money? How is she going to make money? We were watching and watching and watching to see what was going to go on. And all of a sudden, Boo writes a book. All of a sudden, Gund, the company, starts putting out different models of Boo Gund bears. Major stores, major retail stores like Bloomingdale's and Bergdorf Goodman pay Boo to make an appearance at shows for their highest purchasers. Okay, and Boo, I think, has a second or third show. To give you an idea of how popular Boo is, Boo was flown to New York to be a guest on Good Morning America. The host of Good Morning America walks down into Boo's hotel lobby with Boo, walks outside. You recognize him instantly as someone who's important. He's on television every day around the United States. And people see him and run up to him excitedly, and they say, "Is that Boo?" Not like, "Are you so-and-so?" Is that Boo? So what this tells you is that you have two things. It's up at the top of the page. If you want to make money, you want these two things. Please write this down. This is worth cash in your pocket. You want a passionate market, and you want an insane market. And when you put up a picture of a cute little Pomeranian dog with a funny haircut and 131,000 people like it, then, you know, you're dealing with an insane market. So how did I pick dogs? Well, I did my research. This is something from the Akron Journal, Akron, Ohio Journal, and it matched what I heard on the radio, and this is what did it, is that when the economy took a dive during the Great Recession, people actually spent more on their dogs. So in 2011, Americans spent more than $330 million on their dogs' Halloween costumes. Okay? That's freaking insane. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to tap into that insanity. And that's what I did. So please note, and this is really going to piss some people off, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. I did not do any keyword searches. I didn't do an SEO analysis. I tried to find who the competition was badly. I didn't try to become a dog expert. And true fact, from time to time we run a game on our site and we put up a picture of a dog and we ask people to guess the breed. I could never win. I am like totally clueless about that. But here's what I did know. I knew that people are passionate about dogs. I know that people spend money on dogs. I know that people who don't have money at all, they spend what little they have on their dogs. I knew that people on Facebook are insanely crazy about dogs. And people make huge money on sites about people's passions. Why not me? So I decided to do a site about dogs. Now, we know that sites can make a lot of money. The Huffington Post, which was sold for $315 million, is probably worth a lot more than that today. They've expanded. There's television. There's Huffington Post Live. They're around the world. They opened up in Canada. They opened up in French. They opened up in Mexico. They have editions in more cities. It's just growing like a weed. $315 million. Mashable turned down $200 million for his site because he decided that it wasn't enough. Now, this is an interesting, really interesting story. This is Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report was started by 4 or 5 high school guys who went to school out in the San Francisco area, and they were in high school, and they said, you know, oh, we're going to go away to college, and we were such good friends. And someone said, well, why don't we go into business together? And everybody, like, you know, like high school juniors and seniors would go, oh, that's a really good idea. We could, like, have a business. And then they figured out they were going to put up a site about sports. And they went to people and said, we want to put up a site about sports. And people said, are you freaking out of your mind? You're going for competition against ESPN. You're going into competition against Fox News. You're going into Fox Sports. You're going into competition against Yahoo Sports. You're going into competition against Sports Illustrated. Why don't you just roll over, play dead, stick your feet in the air, and when you wake up, you'll do something else? But they went ahead and they created the first curated site. And Bleacher Report was sold last year for $200 million. Okay? Now, I don't know how many people know Bleacher Report or whatever, but Turner Broadcasting bought it from these former high school students for $200 million. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you guys think that $200 million would keep you comfortable for a while? Type it in if $200 million would keep you comfortable. Okay, long while, just. Okay, that would work for 10 minutes or so for a couple of years. Okay, yes, most people are saying more or less it would work for them. Okay, but it didn't work for one of the guys from the Bleacher Report. Here's Brian Goldberg. Brian Goldberg decided that $200 million was not enough. And even though he sold his site for $200, he said he was going to make a bigger fortune doing it. And he said that these sites are worth a lot of money. Now, how many people think that a guy who sold a site for $200 million could do it all over again? Okay, Mary Louise says yes. Terrence says easy. John says yes, yes. Everybody's typing in yes, sure. Okay. So would anybody like to see his new site? Here we go. Here it is. It's a new site. It's up. It's called Bustle. Now, what Goldberg did here is what I'm doing, and I'll show you later, is he's building this site with other people's money. When people found out that he sold his site for $200 million, it wasn't really hard to get investors to jump on board because he says he's going to do it again. This is his site, and he believes that this site is going to do it again in the niche, and the niche that he's gone after is women's news. Women's news. Although, to me, this doesn't really look like a women's site, but nonetheless, he did. So he's doing it all over again in a different site. Now, here's another site that's doing really, really well, a curated site that is attracting lots of investors. Oh, by the way, Bustle attracted over $5 million already. Now, Tapastic is attracting millions of dollars of investors. What they want to be at Tapastic is the online site for comics. Okay, YouTube is the online site for video, and they want to have every comic available on Tapastic. It is huge, absolutely huge. So here are the results of my deep thinking and looking at these sites. Number one, none of these really big sites look like a blog. They all look like news sites. They were all active on Facebook and social media. They posted up-to-date news. If you wanted the latest news, that's where you'd go. They all build passionate followings. And here's the way I figured it, that if I didn't make $200 million, I'd be okay with $5 to $10 million. I don't know about you, but I could be comfortable at least for a week for $5 to $10 million, and then I would do it all over again. So let me show you my baby. My baby is the Dogington Post. This site is kicking some serious butt, making major money. It's doing about $30K a month, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's how that's working. Now, when I started the site, I started by mind mapping what I wanted on the site. And what I did was the initial structure of the pages were listed in order of the expected usage. And here you see I laid out what I wanted. Then I started, you see over on dog breeds, I was going to do like the top 10 dog breeds based according to the American Kennel Club, what they thought were the top breeds, and I added Pomeranians since I went ahead and got one. So by power of the being the owner, I was going to put my own breed up there. And so this is what it looked like initially. Then with some more planning, people gave me input, and it got more complicated. And then I brought some teams into it, and then it started looking like this. And if you go to our site, you'll see that it's constantly changing. It doesn't even look like this anymore. Just lots and lots of news on there. So here was my thinking. I needed to create a system. We needed to attract passionate followers, which wasn't going to be hard in the dog niche. We needed to engage with them. We wanted to become a major player in the industry. We needed to make strategic alliances. We needed to make money, serious money, and that's exactly what we did. So here's the traffic. In July 2013, we had 985,000 visits to the site, and we had 1.2 million page views. Just to show you, this was midway through August. We had 520,000 views. We had 679,000 page views. So this is not something that happens one time only. This is something that is repeatable and repeatable and repeatable, and it only grows. So who cares about page views? Let me tell you, advertisers care about page views. And even beyond advertisers, I'm going to show you how I make really big money. And the industry is literally chasing me down. I'm a big guy, and I wanted to do business with somebody, and I spoke to them, and they didn't respond. And I left a message on their voicemail, and I said, look, guys, you're not responding. You have until Friday or the deal is off. And they were like calling me and crying that they wanted to work with me and sending me emails and whispering sweet nothings in my ear. Why? Because I get a boatload of traffic, and everybody wants a piece of me. And they're willing to pay generously for it. So our number one source of traffic is Facebook. You can see on Facebook we have just about 82,000 likes. I didn't update this in a week. It's probably more. And we have like some crazy activity. Here you see that we reach on Facebook 2.2 million people in a week. 2.2. Our highest week was 2.8 million people. Okay, that's what we do. This post on Facebook, right? It's a post of a boxer, and he is on the couch, and there are stools to keep him off the couch. And if you click on the picture, it opens up and says, "Silly human, you can't foil my plans." And this was shared nearly 20,000 times. 12,000 people liked it, but down at the bottom, it was seen by nearly 1.5 million people. Okay, this is the power of Facebook in, making a really powerful site. Our stuff goes viral. This was something that we did we put up at the end of June. It was about one of our friends, Dr. Ernie Ward. Dr. Ward is known as Rachel Ray's veterinarian, and we're actually probably giving him more publicity than Rachel Ray. He posted a video. We put it, and it had 16 views. Then we got a hold of the video and we put it up, and it's got hundreds of thousands of views. I haven't checked it recently, but it's got 600,000 or 700,000 views. It had 179,000 likes. Okay, that's insane. It means about 400,000 people came to that specific page. Or this was for April Fools. If you know dogs, Michael Vick, the NFL quarterback, was busted in a dog fighting ring. So we put up an article about Michael Vick being attacked by a vicious Pomeranian. Of course it was a joke. That's a picture of my Pomeranian there down at the bottom. And we wrote this thing so totally absurd about a dog, this little dog jumping 6 feet up in the air, biting him on the nose, peeing on him, and running away. And people took it seriously, and it got 31,000 likes that day. Absolutely crazy. We had over 100,000 page views that day. We nearly crashed the server. This was back in January when the site was less than a year old, and we wrote an article about Purina's Beneful. That's one of their brands of dog food, and was it killing dogs? And you can see that it got 16,000 likes, and it drove Purina crazy. Or this one, when we were just 6 months old, Petco announced a recall of their stainless steel dog bowls because guess what, everybody? Our dog bowls were accidentally made with cobalt-60, and they're radioactive, and your dog will glow in the dark. They released this, I believe, on a Sunday, so nobody would notice it, except they didn't know that the insane Dogington Post didn't really care about Sundays, and we published it. It got picked up, and we got so much traffic in a single day that it was the first time our site crashed, and we had to start moving it to bigger sites and servers so that it would not go down. And this is a lot of traffic for a baby site. Then, in December, we did something called the Dogington Post Awards. And the Dogington Post Awards is our recognition of who are the finest companies out there. It was a huge traffic boost, and some big media guy bought a dog food company called Freehand that gives parts of its profits to rescue dogs. And one of the reasons he bought it, look at the arrow, is because they were awarded the gold medal for from the Dogington Post, and we awarded the top sites, the top products. And man, here these big companies are begging. Look what they did with it. Here's Freehand on the first page of their site. There it is, the Dogington Post Award. But it gets better from that. Now, they can't use Ellen DeGeneres' picture without her permission, but they got her permission, and there she is with her Dogington Post Award for the best pet-loving celebrity. And they were posting it and tweeting it as well. And when we made a kosher for Passover dog-approved list, you know, other businesses were putting it out there. So we get our stuff going viral. So I created a formula, and this is probably one of the most important slides. You would be wise if you wrote this down, okay? It's RC plus RC plus RC equals SS. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining this to you in some detail, so don't say you didn't learn anything, and I'm letting you know this is absolutely crazy important, valuable content that you do not want to miss. So if you're doing anything else right now, stop it, because this is killer, killer stuff. RC means the right content. The second RC means the right channel, and the third RC means the right connections, and that equals a super site. Now, if you have not written this down or taken a screenshot of it, you really need to check your pulse, because you're going to say, put it back, put it back. No, we got a lot of stuff to do. Get this stuff down. Here we go. Here's what the right content means. You need to know what your niche is most passionate about. You need to give them this information in a timely fashion. You need to make your site fun and addicting. You need to get feedback from your followers and correct your course based on what they tell you. And you need to keep feeding them the right content, and your site will grow. Okay, this summarizes what I learned in the first 6 to 8 months about content. Okay, get these things down. I'm giving you a huge shortcut. Hugh, give me your thoughts on this while we're giving them an opportunity to copy this down.
Well, I think that's amazing, and it goes along with what I try to share people too about the right content, the right channel. And you've got a little extra secret sauce that definitely puts us over the top.
Oh, we're going to give you some more now. Let's go a little bit further. Now let's show you what we mean by the right channel. Number one is you need to connect with your niche on social media. Number two, you need to start building loyal and passionate, and I might even add the word insane fans. You need to make the message to media connection. And while what I mean by that is there are some sites and there are some things that do much, much better on Twitter than they do on Facebook, and vice versa. You need to know which is the one that's right for your niche. If you do on Facebook and Twitter the same thing, those audiences are going to laugh at you. And you need to really have that sensitivity of what's appropriate where. You know, how many people, let me ask you a question. How many people think that Twitter is mostly useless spam? People saying spam. Anyone else? Okay, most people are typing that in. I want you to know that Twitter can be a huge source of traffic, but nobody really teaches Twitter correctly. And by the way, I ain't no rocket scientist on Twitter, okay? It is a huge source of traffic, good traffic when done correctly. But most people don't know what they're doing, and they just spam the heck out of it. And those are the people who are just clueless, and they'll say, well, Twitter traffic is worthless. No, it's not. Your fans carry your message to the world, and then your site gets traffic. So how many people think that I never think that I know a little bit about getting traffic, right? Like 1.2 million page views, and we're going for more this month. Can you concede that I've discovered something that works for traffic, even though it was accidental? Okay? Now let's go to the right connections. You start connecting with the movers and the shakers. The movers and the shakers, you find out who the leading people are in your niche, and you don't want to excuse my French here, but you don't want to start peeing in the baby pool. You want to get into the pool with the big people, and you want to start swimming and interacting with them. Next, what happens is eventually they're going to take a look at your super site and take you seriously. I've had this happen many, many times. Then what happens is they take your message and send it out to their followers, and your site grows because other people are sending their fans to you. And this is crazy, but it works every time we do it. People who don't know me from Adam in the biggest companies see what I've got going on, they look at the traffic, and they start paying me a lot of attention. And why is this important? Because it means money in your pocket. So here's the formula again, RC plus RC plus RC equals Supersite. The right content, we talked about it. The right channel, we talked about it. The right connections equals a Supersite. Now let's look at some of the other Supersites that my students have put up. Now all these students were created by students or by my team for them, just to give you an idea that it's not just Harlan. Okay, someone imitated me with the Huffington Post, okay, and he's doing really well. This site, everything smallmouth, all about smallmouth bass, and doing really well. When he asks people to submit their pictures, he gets crazy, crazy results. This is a beautiful site. It's called Slanted Flying. It's all about Tai Chi. I love this site. He's such a nut. Fibsta, which is all about jokes that he puts up. And that's a lead story, Catholic Church to make anonymous guy a saint. Or spy drone hunting permits expected to be big sellers. Taylor Swift gets no trespassing tattoos on her thighs. It's a really funny site, and I'm convinced that that's going to be a really big hit. This is a site called Zen Lama, all about the Zen lifestyle, about meditation, online golf swing tips. Now this site isn't even officially launched yet, and he's getting hundreds of people coming to the site every day without doing any SEO at all. Okay, he's getting something like between 500 and 1,000 people coming to his site, and he hasn't even launched it. That's the power of curation and the power of a super site. People take him seriously. I love this site, Wedding Brook. It's all about weddings, and people started approaching her to make deals with her very, very early. Trail Run Crazy. Again, I spoke to the guy this week. He says the site's doing really well, super happy. He's making money, and he's expanding it. Author's Paradise. This is a site that is all about publishing and publishing your own book on Kindle, etc. Really fantastic site. Now this one I want to stop and pause to you about, because this site is going to absolutely, totally make you crazy. It's called It's a Paul World, and it's all about Ron Paul. Now, I came up with the name of the domain name, and the guys who went to the site, who own the site, went to this Freedom Fest in the beginning of July in Las Vegas. And they had business cards printed up, and they were wearing shirts that said, It's a Paul World. And pretty soon, everybody, and they were all fans of Rand Paul, people were coming up to them, women were coming up to them and just started singing, It's a Paul World after all, and which was exactly what I wanted. They could not stop it. So he goes there, and someone sees his site and says, Rand Paul is having a private meeting. Would you like to attend? So he goes into the meeting, and he goes, questions from the press, and then Rand Paul's aide says, yes. And the guy introduces himself, Senator, we come from the site It's a Paul World. And he asked them a question, and everybody was happy, and people were coming up to him. The next day, he gets on a plane going back east, and sitting directly in front of him is Senator Rand Paul. Senator Paul sees him and turns around and says, I like your website, but I'm not running for president in 2016. And he said, that's right, Senator, and we're here to change your opinion. And Paul just smiled at him. So when you have a site that starts attracting attention from United States senators, okay, almost immediately, it's teaching you that you can go after any freaking niche you want and dominate it, okay? It really doesn't matter. If it's a passionate niche, you can dominate it. Now, how many people here think, now that you see this, that it's only a Harlan thing and nobody else could do this? Okay, I think you've seen lots of proof that other people can do it as well. Thomas says, yeah, other people can. Okay, because it's a formula. And if you could follow a formula to make a chocolate brownie, if you could follow a formula to do it, then there's no reason that you can't. This is not rocket science. Okay, I figured this out by doing it, and I share what I do. And I haven't even shown you the cool stuff yet, but I'm going to, so stick with me. So if I did it for one niche, I can do it for another. And this is my second super site, the Catington Post. Now the site is up, but it hasn't really gone live yet. And today I start getting emails from people who are manufacturers of cat food products, and they say, hey, you put up the Catington Post. We're real interested in advertising on that site. It's not even live. I didn't even tell them about it. But they've been checking, and they're looking, and they knew that something was coming. And what I did for the dog world, I'm going to do for the cat world, because there's much less competition. Incidentally, just to brag a little bit, you know that in the entertainment world, the biggest award that you could get in movies is obviously the Oscars. The biggest award you could get for being a jerk, you get from Miley Cyrus at the VMA Awards. But in the pet niche, the biggest award you could get is called the Petties, P-E-T-T-I-E-S. And I believe that next week they're going to announce that the Dogington Post has won the honor, it's unofficial, has won the honor for being the best dog blog in the industry, best dog site in the industry. And I presume that we're going to take the Catington Post there in a very short period of time. So I'm going to do it again because there's buckets of money waiting for me, and that's it. So this is what our Facebook page looks like. You see we have like nobody yet because we haven't gone live. 32 likes, okay? And you're welcome to like us and see what we do when the magic starts happening. So now I'm going to show you some SEO magic, even though I don't know anything about SEO, okay? I know nothing about SEO. So I'm going to show you how you become the 800-pound gorilla in your niche, even if you don't know anything about SEO like me. Here's Ron Miller. He is the owner of Online Golf Swing Tips that I showed you before. Sweep of page 1 of Google. A curation post on my Supersite last Friday has taken all 10 positions on page 1 of Google. We've heard Harlan mention doing it, but this is the first for me it works. So imagine you could do this for any niche, any keyword, any city, any time, anywhere. You are the gorilla, the king of SEO, and you never even do a damn thing about SEO. I think that's pretty awesome. Hugh, you know more about SEO than I do. What do you think?
Well, I think this is amazing, and we do look at a lot of the technical stuff with keyword research and stuff, but I always say, you know, start with an idea. And the funny thing is, whenever I demonstrate my software, I usually use the keyword dog and cat to show the differences. So you see, there is something to it, folks. You definitely can go after these huge things. I'm excited, I'll tell you that.
Okay, so let's go a little bit further. Now, Dogster was the #1 site for dogs. It was founded in 2004, and since 2004, they have 115,000 likes on Facebook, and they have 26,000 people talking about them. Now, we have 82,000 people likes in 18 months, not since 2004, but we have more than twice as many people talking about us than they do. I certainly expect that within the next year we're going to eat them for breakfast. Here we see an email where we got $10,000 for sponsoring a series of webinars, okay? Now let's go show you how anybody can build a super site. I'm going to give away the steps here. So again, you want to write this stuff down. The Supersite Formula consists of 3 parts: the right content, the right channel, and the right connections. So for the right content, you have to analyze your market, you have to study your competition, you begin tracking content, and then you begin to publish information that would be considered the right content. For the right channel, you start studying and using Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, real syndication, viral videos. Now, all these things that you're doing in the right channel are really bringing you content. And then the right connections, identifying the market leaders, reaching out to them, using what I call lethal LinkedIn, start dominating the media, become the leader, and learning how to deal with money people. Because money people are going to show up and want to start handing you money. And I have to tell you that we are right now negotiating deals with the Bayer company, makers of Bayer aspirin. You probably didn't know they also make flea and tick collars for dogs and cats. We are at the beginnings of negotiations with Subaru for our dog site, and we are also in the middle of negotiations for us to come out with our own line of dog supplements. And our goal is to make $30K a month look small, okay? We hear that it's possible to do 100 or 200K a month in the dog supplement niche. I already have the traffic. I already have their loyalty. Now I'm going to just start really mopping up and making more money with that. How many people think that that's a good idea? Type in like, yeah, show me the money. Yeah, money, money, money. Yeah, people want it. People want to know how to do this. Okay, stick with me. More. Everybody wants to know this, and I'm giving this away right now. Here are 5 ways to make money with your super site. Okay, pay attention. This is gold. Okay, if you are not up taking notes on this slide, you should really reach over and see if you have a pulse. Okay, this is the money, folks. Just get this thing down. This is absolutely this is absolutely gold. The first thing is AdSense income. It's the simplest to do. The fact that Google now does retargeting makes you even more money. And by the way, this just happened today. Let me look on my email here on my phone and tell you the name of the company because I'm not hiding anything here. This just happened today. Oh, Perfect Audience wants us to drop cookies for them on our site so that people can retarget our 1 million+ visitors, and they are going to pay me a minimum of $5,000 a month just for dropping a cookie on people who come to our site. Okay, how many people would like to get paid $5,000 a month for doing absolutely freaking nothing? Okay, we coded the site. It's like a WordPress thing. It drops a cookie, and we're done. We just make money right now. Okay, $5,000 a month plus AdSense plus Amazon income. Okay, I have what's called get the click theory. Let Amazon do the selling. So we bring people over to Amazon just to get the click. So sometimes we'll advertise like a 99-cent product, and we'll let them know that it's a 99-cent product. So people go from Facebook to Amazon, and then we end up people buying the craziest stuff that isn't related to it. You know, one of my people has a site, what was it about, baking recipes, and she sent people over for some 99-cent Kindle book, and some guy bought a piece of exercise equipment that cost about $1,600, and she got the commission. Okay, crazy stuff. I have a woman doing this today.
One of our people sold a fire pit for $2,800 this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's money. Now, what we do is we ask the list on Facebook what their favorite product is. They tell us, and then we turn around and we sell it to them. It's very, very simple. Okay? Then you become a super affiliate. You know your niche. You approach their affiliate management team, and then you can do a Google Hangout with someone so that you could sell through a Google Hangout, invite your list to the Google Hangout. Heck, you could do it live on Facebook, and then you negotiate a higher commission with them, and people will pay. And I am right now in negotiations with someone in the pet niche who is I've been approached by so many people in this niche for the supplement niche for dogs, where people want to build sites for me, and I just send my traffic over there, and they'll start paying me big money. Okay, create your own products. Okay, products, Kindle books, and finally, this is the one that I stumbled across, and I'm like dancing a jig. This is where the big money is. Small sites, big money. People will even give you money to build a site. So in the Small Sites, Big Money program, right now we're talking to Subaru about sponsoring us. Right now we already have sponsorship from Black & Decker, and if you go over to, let's see, to show you this live, okay, so you don't think I'm pulling your leg, DogingtonPost.com, contest. This is the Filthy Dog Contest, your dirtiest dogs. And Black & Decker is giving us thousands of dollars, and they're going to be giving away some of their products to people who enter. And so far, we have 106 people entered, and you can see just here are all of the pictures that are for people who want to win, and they come and we tell them how to vote, etc., and whoever gets the most votes is going to win. And you know, it's really, really cool. Again, I'm all about traffic and letting other people get me that traffic. So I just show you exactly what I do to get traffic. So I know this isn't a major surprise, but I have a program that's called How to Build a Super Site. And it's there are different formats. The full program's 18-week. In week 1, we talk about how to build the niche. In week 2, how to build your team, because I do not run these sites on my own. In fact, I do almost nothing. I just make the money and give the strategy. Week 3, Facebook and Twitter strategies. Week 4, email strategies. Week 5, server melting traffic strategies. Week 6, making money with your super site. Week 7, your content funnel. Week 8, attention gathering techniques. Week 9, 5 revenue profit models. Week 10, email lists and segmentations. Week 11, the Tom Sawyer model. Week 12, the controversy model. Week 13, moving beyond the site. Now this is where you start setting yourself apart in the niche. Week 14, market leadership strategies. Week 15, media domination techniques. Week 16, lethal LinkedIn, how to connect with the connectors. Week 17, how to handle people wanting to give you money. And week 18, breaking into the big time. That's my formula on how to build a super site. I have 3 levels: niche domination, which is the full program. You can use these techniques for yourself or let people give you money every month for you to build a site for them if you're into like local marketing. You get custom consult with my team prior to building your site. You get a theme and plugins installed. We install the plugins when you get 50 posts up. You get 8 one-on-one sessions with me. It's 18 webinars. It's worth $7,297. The first 25 get it for $24.97, or you can get started with payments. Level 2, niche leadership. It's a 12-week program. It's about becoming the market leader. Any niche, any place, anytime. You get a consult with me prior to building your site. You get a level 2 super site theme and the plugins installed for you when you hit 50. You get 4 one-on-one calls with me. It's a total value of $42.97. The first 25 get it for $14.97, or you could do payments. At level 1, the niche profits program is 6 weeks. You want to own the toll booth where people pay you for the traffic. You get a level 1 theme, the plugins installed. The total value is $12.97. First 25 get it for $6.97, or you can do payments. Bonuses for joining. My 14 curation methods webinar. My blog curation program that's worth $497. My viral marketing formula plugin when you're ready to start collecting traffic. My connecting with stories program. My small sites big money program, which shows you how to get the really big money. Everybody gets this. Bonus is worth $1,988. Now, for the webinar only, if you buy level 3 and you do paid in full, you'll get 18 consulting sessions with me instead of 8. I'll work with you every step of the way. This summarizes the programs. Level 1 is 6 sessions, level 2 is 12 sessions, level 3 is 18 sessions. Now, if you are really ready to build a business, this is the definitive internet program. And if I can do it, and I probably do not know half as much about the internet as you guys do, you could probably do it better than I can. Okay, so there's the thing. If you want to get in on it, you go to supersiteformula.com/Hugh. And Hugh, could you go ahead and do me a favor and type that into the box for people to go over there and take a look at it?
Sure, I'll do that.
And I am going to be here and take your questions. So if you've got any questions, whether it's about the program or whether it's about whether it's about the building of a super site, go ahead and ask me now. If you want me to go back to a slide, just ask me. I'm happy to do so. This would be a good time to ask your questions, so go ahead and type them in. Now, someone has typed in sticker shock. Sticker shock means it's really a reflection on you. It's really a reflection on that you haven't yet really made money. Because if this is a site that can bring you the kind of money that I'm talking about and it's working for others, then you're thinking too small. Can I go back to a slide for level 3? Absolutely. Oops. That's the slide for level 3. Mm-hmm. Other questions?
Quite a few questions coming in here.
Okay, why don't you read the questions to me?
Okay. Ken says, I also have a golf site. How is your golf site getting attention even before launch? Is it getting following on Facebook first?
Actually, he doesn't even have a following on Facebook yet. It's traffic coming organically to his site because he's following the formula and doing the right content, and it's being picked up.
Okay. Larry asks, is real syndication some special method that's your own way?
Yes. Yes. And so my stuff is on sites like MSNBC regularly, and MSNBC, other sites, CNN, just dozens and dozens of sites. We're on there. So that's what I mean, real syndication. It's not a plug-in. It's not some secret spamming technique that you'll see posted for $7. None of that stuff works. It's only going to get you banned by Google. I skip that stuff.
It's
next question.
To a lot of places that want to have good material to share.
Right.
Steve's asking, Harlan, have you also used paid traffic for a test or anything to boost page views?
Why would I pay when I can? There you go. He wants to read my site. Why would I pay for traffic when I can get it for free? And to boost page views, oh, we do a lot of things to boost page views. There are a lot of tricks that we'll teach you to boost page views. And all of them, as a matter of fact, our friend Hugh is working with me on one of those tricks, 100% legal, and you guys will find out about it as soon as it's ready. I told Hugh what I want. Hugh, is my technique that you are working on, is it 100% above board?
Oh yeah, I mean it's so above board. It's like about the highest level of thing that I could do for that site.
Okay, and is there, and it's white hat? 100%?
100%. I mean, it's like, you know, let's get out of this automated way of thinking. This is real business.
Okay. All right. So I don't buy traffic. It's not necessary.
Okay, so we have another question.
And by the way, can you think that you could buy as many as 1 million page views? You know, like buy fake likes and stuff like that. The kind of views and traffics that people buy doesn't record on Google Analytics as real traffic.
No, this is a robust publication that you've created from the ground up, and that's how I see it.
Okay. Next.
Okay. What percentage, Tony asks, what percentage of the content on your typical super site is curated versus created?
So Um, um, let's. That's a really good question. So one of the first things is that you discover is there's lots of good news from sites that you can't curate from because of legal reasons. So we have and I'm giving you the program 14 different ways of curation. So actually, most of our site is curated, but it doesn't look that way. I've had people call me, I'm going, Harlan, this is not curated. This is all original content. It's not. Now, when we write a story about my puppy biting and peeing on Michael Vick, yeah, that's original. But 97 to 98% of the site is curated content.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody says curation doesn't work, just remind me to laugh at them.
Well, it works. In fact, it's it's almost a no-brainer how well it works as far as I can see. I mean, of course, you've got to know how to put it together, right? But, okay, here's another question. Would all these be considered news sites by Google, and do you have to apply for that status?
You know, Patrick, I want to thank you because I have totally forgotten to do anything about becoming a Google News site. It's been totally irrelevant. No, we're not a Google News site, and the only reason I'm not a Google News site is because I forgot. I didn't do it. But thanks for reminding me. So no, we are not a Google News site.
Okay. Katya would like to know if this can be done with other languages besides English.
Absolutely. We have people doing it in languages all around the world. I have people doing it in Hebrew. I have people doing it in German, in French. I have people doing it in the Far East. Work in any language. It's the same technique. People want to come to you for content, so the language doesn't matter.
Richard, I think, is asking the same question that we already answered about how much of the site's content was curated versus original content. So we'll go to the next one. Stan asked, do you use or supply curation software to glean the news articles, or are the articles curated manually?
So we curate manually, but certainly Hughes software would work just as well.
And does work quite well, I may add. But I've known for a while that Dr. Kilstein, while he may have used a software to browse through possible source material, I know he does his job by hand pretty much, doing the.
We consider that the most powerful curation tool is your brain.
Mm-hmm. That says it all. Richard asks, once you have a site up and running, approximately how much time do you spend each week to keep up the site and the content?
Well, if you build a site and you're as insane as I am, so we work on that site 5 days a week. We do very, very little on the weekend unless it's some like major dog emergency. Like if it's a dog food recall, we know that that's huge traffic. So we're basically publishing mostly 5 days a week, and on Thursday and Friday we will load up posts to auto-publish on Facebook. So you know, there's always stuff going on. But we have people working on it 5 days a week. I would say that a half hour to 45 minutes a day would be fine. If you won't invest a half hour to 45 minutes a day to build a 7-figure site, you're just not serious.
You got to get down and do the work, but it doesn't take that much time, that's for sure. Tony's asking a question here that I might tackle for you, Harlan. He's asking, how do you disguise the source of the curation?
Oh, I never disguise anything. We never disguise anything.
That's a misunderstanding.
We never disguise anything. We just won't directly quote them.
So you may say something about that. And also, I'm sure when you're curating, you give complete attribution.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. And then we have people like thanking us for curating their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will tell you that in the 18 months, we have had exactly 2 or 3 requests to take down a piece of content, and we always do. And we say, thank you for letting us know. And then actually the last time we took down a piece of content, they went, no, 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 we didn't want you to take it down. We just wanted you to change the way you were attributing us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Interesting. Yeah, right. They don't want to be called by the wrong name or something. Sure, makes sense. John wants to know, is curation as effective for a brand as it is for a niche?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. But people are going to be interested in the niche, and therefore you direct traffic to your brand through that. It's a way of expanding your traffic.
Makes sense. Tony's asking, what is the connection between your Facebook account and your Supersite?
It's a source of traffic. It's where you catch people through the day, and you know, we send people back and forth. So there's a loop between Facebook and your site.
Because you bookmark your posts on Facebook, or you post them on there and then get comments and get people to click back to your site, right?
Yeah.
And then you also on your site you have like us on Facebook and all that kind of thing. So it just goes both ways.
That is correct. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Larry wants to know, how big is your team for Catington Post now?
Well, Catington Post is being kicked off in October 1st. And so it really consists of 2 half-time people. We're not even posting to it. We put it up just to show people for fundraising efforts. And so we're not posting to it on a daily basis. We will probably start with a couple of half-time people. And as the site starts to make money a lot sooner, then we will go to some full-time people.
You can ramp up on it. Now, Richard's got an interesting question about the program here. He wants to know, how do you roll out the program? Do you have to wait 18 weeks to get the full training, or is it all accessible if you want to work ahead?
So it's a fair question, but it's a really serious misunderstanding. There's no way for you to really work ahead on it. There just isn't, because there are things that occur at stages, and there are just things that you're not going to be able to do. So even if you did it in 18 days, you'd really be wasting your time, and you'd have to go back as your site grows and redo everything. In other words, the site about niche domination, the stuff about lethal LinkedIn, you can't do that when your site is in its 2nd week.
Right.
You'll just be laughed at.
No, okay. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the biggest department store.
It's part of the thing that, you know, like internet marketing, people think that this should happen overnight. Now, we are actually starting to get people interested and discussing buying the site now. And it's very, very early in the game, but people are tossing out 7-figure things, going, would you be interested in, would you consider a buyout for 7 figures? And my answer is, keep going.
Well, that's a great position to be in when you're just starting your site. I'd like to be.
Remember, it's just a puppy.
Right, just a kitten. Okay, a couple more questions here. Tony wants to know, do you always link to the curation source?
And the answer is absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's what curation is all about, unless we're paraphrasing and not really curating. If we're really curating, we're going to give full attribution and link back. Ken wants to know, once your sites are up and running, how much does it cost dollar-wise to run the average site, personnel, and so forth?
Well, first of all, most people do the work themselves until they're making serious money. So it doesn't cost hardly anything to run the site. When your site starts making serious buck, then you can expand. In week number 2, I show you how to build a team, and a lot of people hire outsourcers for the Philippines. A woman called me up all in a panic. She said, Harlan, I want to outsource. What can I do? And I just did the math for her. I said, if you hire someone in the Philippines and you can get them to do an article for you for $5, which isn't a crazy price, and they do 2 a day, so that's 10 articles, multiply that by 5, so you could get someone working for you for $50 a week, so you could do a hell of a lot less.
Yeah, I just came across somebody looking to find work doing that too. They're pretty good for the same price. I want to pick them up. Mary Louise wants to know, can you tell us more about the team we build and or your team? It seems like about the same thing we just
Yeah, same question.
answered.
That's what we just
Where
did.
you find full-time
and
workers.
it's in week number 2.
Okay. Mark wants to know, do you utilize very much video, and do you have any preference for video versus other content?
You know, the deal is that you have to understand what your niche is into. Every niche is a little bit different. Of course, our site loves video. We showed you viral content, that video that got 176,000 likes about a vet sitting in a car on a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
But video posts, it really depends on what the content is.
Personally, we use a lot of video in our curation, and it works like gangbusters. That's what we found. But, you know, you have a slightly different model,
Yeah.
and you're quite a bit more successful than me, so we'll definitely take your word wherever you do. Johan asks, can you outsource the curation? I think we kind of covered that too, but
Yeah.
go ahead if you want to say something about that.
No, we talked about that.
Okay. Stan asks, how does Google Plus fit into the social mix in your formula? I don't see it in your right channel list.
Okay, Stan, I'm going to ask you a personal question. Did you ever like a girl when you were in school, right? Did you ever really like a girl in school, but you didn't want to let her know? So the way you got her attention, let's see here, how do you get the attention of the girl that you really like in school without like making a fool out of yourself?
Playing hard to get?
You ignore her. Exactly. And that's what we do with Google. And the more that we ignore Google, the better that we do.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what we found too.
We do absolutely nothing to attract Google.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Right.
we get all these backlinks, and we're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. See, because Google's got all this stuff indexed, and I think that was my theory about why they shut off the Google feeds and reader, because everybody was curating what Google already has. They want stuff that they don't know about.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to say something else on that?
No, just keep running.
Okay. Richard asks, can you do this with a site that's already got a following in a niche and you want to add in curated content to help it grow faster?
Oh, heck yeah.
I'd say that's a big yes, for sure. And, you know, whatever you put in, although certainly it helps to kind of plan it from the beginning, and because you don't want to set up a niche on a certain keyword or set of, you know, ideas and then say, oh, well, let's just throw in some more ideas because we want other people to look at it too. That doesn't always work.
We do not build for Google. We build for our readers, and that's the strategy. And Google, God bless them, but I got the idea from the super sites directly from Google. and we talked about having lunch with Matt Callan, who is the head of the Google site review team, and you know, Matt Cutts, I'm sorry, not Mike Callan, Matt Cutts, and Matt someone posted an article to him, and this is crucial stuff, so listen to me here, you know, and like everybody in internet marketing was like so into easy in articles and all that bull crap, and Matt Cutts said, don't post stuff on article sites, post it on your site and we will find it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And just understanding what Google wanted, we gave Google what they wanted without dealing with Google, without the traditional ways, and we could freaking, okay, can I give you guys one, I'm going to give away one of my secrets here, but you guys should not share this, okay?
Oh boy.
Okay, if you guys, do you guys know what buyer keywords are? Like real buyer keywords are? Okay, welcome aboard, Richard. Okay, a real buyer keyword. Okay, so if you have a super site and you're churning out content, then Google is going to highly rank anything that you publish. Now, if you are a sleazeball like I am, and you want to make money, what you do is you publish articles that say things like, what's the cheapest place to buy dog food online? And you write an article about it on your site, and you put a link in to the place that you think is the cheapest place online. Now, we did that, and all of those buyer keywords, we dominate the niche. So we go out of our way to find out what the buyer keywords are. Our niche thinks that we're just giving them content, but we're getting our affiliate links out there on the internet. Usually we're number 1 or number 2 on the top page of Google. And we're going up against people that are hiring SEO teams, and we're like thumbing our nose at them and going, you know, like, kiss my grits.
Do you have a unit in your training about that?
It comes in early and in the curation, but that's a good point. I might want to do an extra piece on that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you on.
No, it's okay. It's good.
But that's what I'd like to learn, among many other things.
Okay.
Ken wants to know if you join at a certain level, can you upgrade later?
Of course. Of course. And we have lots of people doing that.
Awesome. That's a yes. Super.
Okay, and Richard, who joined today, I want to make sure that we book. You see the phone number that's on the screen right now. That's Sandra. She's not here now, but she's during the day. I want you to book your first session with me next week. I want you to jump on the phone with me, and let's get you off to a good start. We've got the Labor Day weekend coming up. Let's talk next week and get you rocking.
Sounds awesome.
And, you know, there's nobody, you know, in the, quote, guru niche who will, like, go ahead and give you, like, 18 calls with you because, you know, they just don't do that. But I really care about you succeeding. I want you to be able to have the success that I have. So I will bend over backwards to make you guys succeed. Okay.
Mary Louise wants to know how long that you're going to keep this offer open.
Okay, so the site is going to be up for a while. I've closed it at times. It's going to be up for a while, but the offer for level 3 is a webinar special. So I'm going to give it tonight, and then Hugh, let's give it to Friday night for people who are going to pick up the replay because, like, they might be sleeping. Your fans in Europe and stuff like that, and they would be mad.
Sounds fair.
So we'll give you until Friday night on that. Now, the other thing is I want you to see what's up on the screen here. I didn't talk about it. But if you need a special payment plan, if you need payments drawn out for any reason at all, I don't want anybody to miss the training because, oh, you know, the payment plan is too high. We'll work with you. But when you call, you have to say, I was on the webinar with Hugh. Okay? If you don't say that, you don't get the bonuses. Okay? And Sandra will work with you so that we do not turn people away. Okay? We really want
awesome.
We want people in on this. So we will work with you. All right? Let me ask you a question. Oh, there's another one. How did I manage to talk about a dog jumping up and biting and peeing on a celebrity without getting penalized? By who? Who would penalize me?
They're out there, right? I mean, they put themselves out there so you can write about them, right?
What do you mean, like celebrities?
Yeah.
Oh, well, first of all, number one is it's satire. So
Right.
protected. You're protected. Okay, you're totally protected. The celebrity can't do anything to you. And first of all, if Michael Vick decided to sue us for it, number one is we would get more publicity than we could ever buy, you know, and plus it's you know, first there is still a constitutional amendment to freedom of the press, so you're protected by satire. He's a public figure.
Stan, so the niche that contains both passion and insanity from readers and fun to develop for the site owner is not that easy to find, he says. Obviously.
Oh, I totally disagree.
Yeah,
okay,
me too.
I totally disagree. Passion and insanity is very, very easy to find. Think of, okay, really hard to find. Let me close my eyes. It's the start of a season where men get into uniforms with pads and chase a ball on the field and beat the crap out of one another on Sundays or Monday nights. Oh, yeah, that was a hard one to find. Come on.
I think what happens comes in people's mind is like, oh, I'll never be bigger than, you know, ESPN or whatever. I think that's what you're putting that to rest.
Right. It's like, look at those high school guys and the Bleacher Report.
Right.
They, you know, whatever, $200 million, and everybody said, don't do it, don't do it, it won't work. But there are a gazillion passionate niches and insane niches. Heck, I don't mind if you go into dogs, whatever, or cats.
No, I mean, there are people,
or
there's a lot of
frogs.
people doing it. I can tell you like 4 or 5 people right now that are making thousands of dollars on dog sites.
Good, good. The more the merrier.
Yeah. And like Ken's asking, should I have a cat blog or should I go up against other cat sites? Definitely, because, I mean, how many billions of people are in the world, and what percentage of those people are nuts about their cat, you know?
Okay. So you should definitely, if you're into cats, go for it. All right. Let me ask you a question. Did you guys learn anything here? Did you guys learn anything here? Okay. Did you go away with some really good content? Okay. Now, for you guys, yes times 10, absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay. Now, if you guys are on the call and you have not yet joined, you're making a serious mistake. Because, number one, I know that you're interested in it, and number two is we will work it out for you to join. We will work it out for you to join. So take that number down. Sandra is not here now. You can either call her, or if you're watching this on the replay and it's Labor Day weekend, she will be checking the email and respond to you. The email address is otcpublishing@gmail.com. You just have to say, to get the bonuses, you have to say that you were on the webinar with Hugh. Okay? That's the way you get the bonuses. And let me tell you that the bonuses are well worth it. Well worth it.
They're good. Those are programs that, you know, I paid hundreds of dollars for already. So they're good bonuses, folks.
Yeah. All right. Any last questions? Any last questions? All right, there being no questions, head on over to supersiteformula.com/Hugh. Hugh will be sending out the replay on this. I'd really like to welcome you guys on board, and I am totally, totally convinced to you crushing it in your niche. So everybody, Hugh, thanks for having me. And
it's a real pleasure.
I hope you guys learned something. Curate, curate, curate. Go for it, guys. You can do this.
Right
Have
on.
a good night.
Thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you, Dr. Kilstein, for the wonderful presentation. And thanks to everyone for being on this webinar. And we're going to go ahead and close it down and see you guys on the inside. This Hugh out.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.